Hi, everybody. My name is Rita Crompton, and I am the president and CEO of Archimedes Offspring. So the title of our topic today is called The Inventor's Business Plan. And we joke about this frequently, that the Inventor's Business Plan in the past has been have idea, get patent, make money, buy island. And it's amazing how somebody thinks it's like, oh my God, this is a wonderful new idea. And yeah, I'm going to make millions of dollars and live on an island someplace and drink little umbrella drinks. So I'm your reality check. Probably not. Does that mean that there are not exceptions? Of course, there's always exceptions. But most likely, no. An inventor, all right, who does everything right and licenses their intellectual property will have extra disposable income. All right, you make a car payment, you take a nice vacation, you pay for private school for the kids. Do you buy an island? No, you don't buy an island. So what does the inventor's business plan really look like? What are the steps you should engage in? It is not a traditional business plan. All right, don't go online and down a business plan template and then fill in the blanks. You don't have a business yet, right? And that's the key thing. I mean, I talk to these inventors and it's like, well, I went to this community group and they said, do a business plan. And so I've got a business plan. I don't want to see your business plan. I don't know of a single legitimate licensee that will ask to see a business plan. They don't care. Like I said, you don't have a business yet. So what are the real steps to an inventor's business plan? If you go to the Inventor's Galaxy Guide on inventorlady.com, you'll get a pretty good idea. All right. The Inventor's Galaxy Guide is going to walk you through the steps. When you are looking at the vetting process for Archimedes Offspring, which I hope you are, those steps are going to be the viable first steps. Okay, so let's take a look at now what are those important first steps. When you know you're going to go through the vetting process, the first step we need is a comprehensive search. If you are not going through the vetting process, you need a comprehensive search. That's where you find out, do you really have something? So when you're first getting started, you go out and you do as much looking around as you can. Take the blinders off. How would someone use your thing to do something else? All right. The biggest crossover we see, which is surprising to mechanics, is surgical instruments. It's amazing how those little gadgets work on the same type of parts. One's bones and muscles and organs, and the other one are engine parts and pieces and stuff I don't always get. So anyway, that's what you really want to be able to look at, is how could yours be used in something else? How would someone else describe yours to find the same thing? Do a good Google search. Then you go to the USPTO and you do not physically go, but you log on and start looking through their database. Keep in mind that the database is organized like a library by classifications. So if you're just Googling keywords, that will help you find some of the stuff, but not all of the relevant stuff. It's going to give you, though, a good idea of what else is out there. Then you need to have, all right. That's always surprising when all of a sudden everything disappears. So when you're looking at then those databases, and keep in mind, there is a 2.5-year blind spot at the USPTO. And it's a legitimate blind spot. There's nothing anybody can do about it. If someone filed a provisional patent application, just like you might, it's not shown to anybody. It's not online so anyone can see it, but it's still there. The next thing that you want to be able to keep in mind is that once someone files a utility, and you'll be in this time frame eventually as well, it's about 1.5 years before publication. So again, it's a blind spot. So about 2.5 years is what you have to figure. But inventors frequently will put up a website. They might go to a trade show. So those things will start being posted online, and a good comprehensive search is going to include those. Every inventor has got his own level of pain when it comes to actually searching. So I've had people say, 5 minutes into it, it's like, oh my God, shoot me now because I'm done. And others will spend weeks on searching. The international part of the search is critical. If your concept has been done anywhere in the world at any time in history, will not be granted, or you shouldn't be granted, a U.S. patent. And people will tell me, it's like, well, I don't plan on selling there. My main market's in the US. It doesn't matter. It's still part of the public domain. You won't be granted a US patent. Does that mean that you can't make it and sell it and go to market? Not necessarily. It depends on if the patent's expired. Did they file anything internationally? Da 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 da. What you want to make sure is that you're not infringing on somebody else, and then you can make it and sell it. The patent is what allows you to negotiate. So for most inventors, independent inventors, the patent is the most important next step after the search. So when you've done your own looking around, then you build your own version of a prototype. Duct tape and cardboard, I've seen good ones out of Legos. That's the next step in the inventor's business plan. A lot of times you can answer some of your own questions if you build your own version of a prototype. Now, not everybody can do that, and I understand it. So, you might do drawings. You may only have a verbal description. But your first thing that you spend money on, that first step, it's not with an engineer and it's not with a registered patent attorney. It is on a comprehensive search, an independent comprehensive search. It's going to include the US PTO by classification. It is going to include the international search for international databases, and it is going to include a product search. So those things that might be in the blind spot for intellectual property, and just the things that are in the marketplace, but no one ever filed a patent. Step number 1 of the inventor's business plan. Step number 2 is then the search comes back and you take a look at it. And you're going to determine, most of the time we see things that are in the same ballpark, but not necessarily dead on. So you can take those and say, okay, Mr. Patent Attorney, start with this, and I want to patent these improvements. I want to patent these changes. And good patents these days are improvements on older widgets. They're improvements on the way something is made. They're improvements on how it's functioning, but they're on the improvements. You really want to be in that sweet spot of the improvements. And the reason is because Apple paid a lot of money to teach you that an apple is something you play with and not something you eat. Most inventors do not want to be in that ballpark of something that truly is brand new and novel, because you pay a lot of money to teach someone you solved a problem they didn't know they had. When you're doing a new flashlight, everybody gets that a flashlight is a light coming out of the end of a stick. And the guy who invented the one that wrapped around a pole, cool idea, but it's still a light coming out of the end of a stick. It's just got a new patentable feature on it. And it's really cool. So you kind of want to look at gauging where you are in that sweet spot. It will determine, all right, part of the business plan, how much money you're going to have to spend. We want to know that before you start pulling the triggers. So when you get your search back, you're going to go through and do the analysis. Now you engage the registered patent attorney, phase 2 of the inventor's business plan. Do you really have something? What are the parameters? Are you going to be limited just to a design? Is that going to work well for us? That's one of the things I help inventors decide. Can we do just that? Or if, you want the utility if you can get it. Not everybody can get it. And there's things that we look at. There's swings that we look at in the product itself. All right, now you've decided, okay, you've got something that you can file a provisional on. You may determine whether or not you need to talk to an engineer first. That's a lot of times that's happening simultaneously. The registered patent attorney is getting to work on a provisional because time is an issue here. And you've got an engineer who's working on, final designs, final steps. Sometimes there's a little bit of delay there. Again, it depends on your product. It depends on what you can do yourself. Part of the inventor's business plan. So now we know that you can do something. We try to set some parameters on what it's going to look like getting you to the marketplace. When AOS, Archimedes Offspring, is your team, we help you facilitate that sooner rather than later. We help you really understand what that swing is going to be. And if you're picked from the vetting process, it's going to be paid for. Yay, how cool is that? So what we're looking for on the inventor's business plan, that inventor's business plan and those steps are as important to us as they should be to you. AOS is helping you understand the process, helping you work through the process, and then paying for the process. It's great that way. So take a look at Archimedes Offspring. We want to help you. We want to help you avoid mistakes. We want to help you understand the inventor's business plan. We want to walk you through the steps and point you to good service providers so that everyone is successful. My name is Rita Crompton. You can reach me. I am everywhere. Rita at Archimedes Offspring is probably the fastest email. You can use info at Archimedes Offspring. You can use anything. Archimedes Offspring. Call us, email us, get in touch. We are here to help you. My name is Rita Crompton, and I will talk to you on Friday.